Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to see Sam Peet, who is helping me out with my swing. He's one of the swing coaches at Golf Studio. I've done an episode with him before. But since the challenge is done, I'm kind of trying to focus in on a couple of the things that I was previously not doing so well. So go check in with Sam. I think we're going to be doing a little bit of a swing lesson and a putting lesson, so that'll be a lot of fun.
You back? Good. How's the connection?
That was,
you hear that at home?
Well, yeah, not bad, huh?
Very good. Let's have a little squeeze. So, what type of outcomes have you found from this change?
Well, going back to what my problems were, I was hitting heel strikes, right? That was my biggest problem.
For sure.
I've got more room to swing, so I'm finding that I'm able to kind of find the middle of the club a little more often.
Yeah, lovely, good.
And the consistency's there. There was a level of like uncomfortableness for a long time, but
yeah, for sure.
It feels, I had to improve a bit of mobility. That was like the number one thing I found out. Like if I didn't improve it, I was nowhere gonna like keep that change going.
So when we're kind of working through changes.
Oh no.
Golf is hard.
Golf is hard.
One thing I always talk about, in fact, whilst I do this, I'm actually just going to change this. One thing I always do like to talk about is understanding your pattern and how long have you been practicing like that for, right? So I kind of use the term, if you're traveling to a place and you get 2/3 of the way there and then you realise you've took a wrong turn, i.e. too close to the golf ball, what we actually then have to do, man, it isn't just a case of change where you are and then we can put you straight away on the right track. Sometimes you actually have to go backwards. The changes won't always happen straight away, simply because if you've went the wrong way for X amount of time, we've got to kind of undo that pattern to kind of put you back on the right path.
Felt like that, to be honest. That first 2 weeks, even now, it feels like I've taken 2 steps back from where I was. The improvement
will actually help you go further
actually helping me push through some of the other stuff. So that feels so much better. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, obviously there, after we created the change last time, you kind of had a tendency to hit everything a little bit high and left. Just because you know, had all that room, kind of that timing aspect wasn't quite there. But then obviously we can now see everything's kind of happened, timings came back a little bit there, and hence you're now hitting it pretty clean.
Yeah.
Good job. How's it feeling?
Man, it's so different, man. Like I'm hitting that little, like 1 yard, 1 meter draw. It's insane. Like I was not doing that. And the thing is, I'm not putting effort into this at all.
Sure.
Like I don't feel like I am, and I'm probably hitting it at 70%, 75%.
Yeah, for sure. Good man.
And I'm getting that sort of 100 carry, which is.
And it's like a cruisy 100
it's
carry,
cruisy.
right?
Like I'm playing within myself.
Like you're not trying to hit it as hard as you can.
I'm not trying to roast them,
85. For sure. Hit a couple more for me, and I'm just going to grab a tennis ball.
All right. I mean, that's so solid, Sam.
Yeah, 100%. So, obviously, shot, man. Good job. So obviously here we're just going to kind of work on a part 2 of this as well, right? So you were talking about swinging at 70 to 75% effort. I'd love if we can now, because hopefully you're a little bit more comfortable with that change, that we can now kind of get you up to 80 to 85% effort. Because ultimately that's kind of like our sweet spot. So anything less and our timing can be a little bit inconsistent. Anything harder and we're just trying to hit it too hard.
Right.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sort of just guiding at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Just don't have complete trust just yet.
That's okay. So on this one for me, just obviously like it's on camera so like the world can see, but just hit this at 80 to 85% effort for me and just trust all the practice and the effort that you've been putting in will actually pay off here.
Okay. It's probably close
That's got 108.7 meters of carry.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what a guess, 108.5.
Wow. How did you know that?
Because I'm a human trash man. Carry's now at 108.5. It's a little bit heely still, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But your pitching wedge now goes
108, 110.
Yeah, so obviously as we do continue to be comfortable with this, carry I'd like to kind of get you to between 105 and 110.
Okay.
With a pitching wedge.
I mean, if I'm there, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
That's awesome for me.
So let's just keep working through this for me. Just keep hitting a couple more like that at that 80 to 85% effort.
That's probably a little bit over.
Just a little pushy?
Yeah.
That's all right. But even that's going 100, 103 still, right?
Yeah. A bit heely, a bit pushy.
That's all right. So we obviously understand that that's your tendency, right?
It is, yeah.
A little bit heely, a little bit pushy. So that's what we're trying to counteract.
A bit heely, but I felt like I hit it all right.
103, little draw. Got to be happy there.
Yeah,
so let me explain, just to everyone at home as well, why is it optimal to work in that kind of range? So if I grab this club with you for 20 seconds.
Swap?
Yeah, we can swap, even though I
He's not left.
definitely cannot play golf lefty. So what I want to explain is the heaviest part of the irons and how they're built is that the club always wants to have the toe full back down towards the bottom there.
Right.
So what happens is, if we're here and we're turning too slow, the club will actually release itself too late. And if we're turning too quickly, then we will be too active with our hands, which obviously links back to the first one, talking about trying to control things.
Right.
So where we really hit that sweet spot is just in that 80 to 85% range, and just allowing that toe naturally to square back up, as opposed to us trying to apply too much pressure for the club face to close.
And manipulating it.
Correct.
And trying to flip it.
If you think about, have that for 1 second.
Yep.
If you think about, say, a cricketer outfield picking up a ball and trying to throw the ball back in to a keeper, if you're here picking it up, would a person throw it like this?
Nah.
Or would they turn quite well,
yeah,
like this, and then see how everything gets open, and then you can throw it easier.
Yeah.
So
get that turn in first.
Yeah, correct. So that's where that feel of rotation at 80 to 85% effort links back to other sports as well. Let's just keep working through that for me.
So about 85?
Yep, 80 to 85% effort. That's our sweet spot.
And that's bang. That'll be 85.
Just give me some love. There we go, 107 dead straight.
Man.
And if you turn around and look at impact location, and I'll just chuck it up on the tee, on the projector for everyone at home to have a little check of as well.
That's way closer to middle than I'm
There we go. So
hey, you know what? You know what's? Sorry to interrupt
you go, bro.
I was going to say, see, all my strikes are a little bit above center now.
Yeah.
Just slightly above center. Is that kind of where I want to be, or you want to be a little bit lower than that?
That's a really good point. It changes ever so slightly with the club.
Right.
So I'd classify that as pretty level. Obviously on the TrackMan, it looks a fraction high, but we're talking less than half a centimetre.
So I'm a right-hander that plays golf left-handed.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So the same. So when you're using the illustration of throwing, for example, so for me, that's hard to picture because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, and I know like a lot of people that watch too, on the YouTube channel, they are right-handers that play golf left-handed.
Yeah.
Have you got something that you can sort of, that I could take away to work on?
Here's the tennis ball I prepared
Is that
earlier.
what, okay.
That's what tennis ball's for.
Tennis ball's for?
So I'm actually going to have you do this drill, and I'll just go first just because it will look pretty funny on camera as well.
Okay, cool.
So now I don't expect this to be perfect early. This is quite a lot easier drill if you are right-handed and you play golf right-handed, or you're left-handed and play golf left-handed.
Right.
So all we're doing here is we're going to take it back and feel as though we can throw the tennis ball so it lands by maybe 2 to 3 foot out in front of where this actual golf ball would be. So let me kick that to the side for 10 seconds here. And if I go this way, just like that.
Right.
So what that's going to do is, because if we don't turn properly, that tennis ball will actually land at the golf ball.
Okay.
So what this is going to do is this is going to train our timing that we turn first, release it there, tennis ball lands out in front. Whereas like if I go one where like we don't turn, see how that's landed there?
Yeah.
Hips super still, nothing here has actually moved.
Okay.
Now this is an easy drill anyone at home can do. All you really have to have is a tennis ball and quite a hard wall. And I'll actually do it this way as well. So if you're here and you are right-handed playing golf righty or lefty playing lefty, you can just literally do this drill where you throw and catch. Just to get used to having the torso and the hips control the swing, just like this.
So I'm going to probably aim it like that.
Yeah, for sure. So anywhere, so like if we go 2 to 3 foot in front, basically anywhere in between here.
Okay, cool.
Anywhere there's good, man. Good, that's all right. So
but there's my natural
correct, but
pull across the line, yeah?
Correct, so that's what I also wanted to touch on for everyone at home. If you do have a tendency to come over the top, as you do work through this drill and you're here, this tendency will also come out trying to throw the tennis ball. So as what you just did there, man, your tendency is to come over the top and throw it left, i.e. club path for you being a lefty too far towards the right.
Yeah, right.
So, and it's also a really good way to train how to actually come in with your trail arm to then have the ball bounce up the line, as opposed to if you're coming over the top, it goes too far to the left, and then also opposite, if you're coming too far from the inside, it'll go too far right.
Out there.
Correct. So 2 feet of width, just so like we're not trying to be perfect, but give ourselves some room. There you go, perfect.
Okay.
So what this drill is going to do, Denim, is just going to get you to understand how to actually, time everything up as well, as opposed to going arms do too much, ball bounces too close, or hips do too much, ball ends up for you being a lefty going too far left.
This is awesome, man, for me, because straight away I yanked it across the line,
100%.
and that's what's causing that, or was causing that before.
Pretty good.
Still not bad, yeah.
So it's coming up the line. So what I want you to do now for me, man, is keep that same feel.
Yeah.
And we're just going to execute a golf shot. Oh, it actually picked up how you
tennis ball?
chucked the tennis ball there. So the height was 0.8, you carried it for 4.9 meters.
4.9. Straight, I don't care if it carries 2.5 meters.
Accuracy first, eh?
Yeah. I smoked. Felt it.
So we're looking at our club path there, and that's actually going perfectly up the line, so it was just a little bit of club face.
Yeah, okay.
But that's completely fine, carry 134 there. What I do want to show everyone at home as well is just how far we've actually brought the strike location across for Denim, who has had the tendency just to be a little bit heely. As you can see there, if you complain about that, man.
I'm not at all.
Happy days.
Yeah, that first lesson, I was way over here, man.
100%.
Like majority of it was in this bottom quarter here.
Go for it. Keep that same feel for me.
That's out of the middle too.
There you go, 136 carry, like a 2-yard push draw.
Yeah,
Any questions?
I don't mind that at all.
And to get an impact location, there you go, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy paste that as much as I can.
Rinse and repeat that.
Yeah.
So, man, obviously you can see there, just from that tennis ball drill, we can actually kind of improve our technique without having to hit hundreds and hundreds of balls.
Yeah.
Just from a tennis ball and, like a wall where you can just go bounce, hit, catch.
Right.
Bounce, hit, catch.
Right, gotcha. I'll take that away.
Another great lesson with Sam Peet. Peet Golf, make sure if you want to book a lesson with him, if you're in the Melbourne area, at Golf Studio, he's going to give you a 1-hour lesson for the price of 30 minutes. So super valuable. For part 2, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That should be released early next week. And don't forget, golf is hard.